Yeah, so that content warning at the start of the video wasn't for show. So for those of you who don't know, Class of '09 is a self-proclaimed anti-visual novel series. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain what that means later. It was created by a person named SBN3. It has over time gained a small but loyal fan base and has spawned 2 sequel games from this. Class of '09, the re-up in 2023, and as I'm recording this right now, the 3rd game released literally a couple hours ago today, while the first 2 games were rated very highly on Steam. The series even gaining its popularity from how it's able to take all the dark subject matter and make it like actually funny, despite how messed up and like absolutely terrible everything that happens in this game is. The 3rd game, however, oh no, I don't know what happened. I think this is probably one of the biggest fumbles I've seen in a while. So much so that it made me change how I was gonna do this video. I was originally just gonna do all the games in one after playing the 3rd game, obviously, that just came out. But instead, I think it's better to do this in a sort of case-by-case situation, considering how mixed the actual reviews of the 3rd game is. So I'm gonna do probably 3 videos for each of the games. But anyway, let's get into it. At the start of the game, we're introduced to our protagonist, Nicole, whose backstory is really long and complicated, so who better to explain it than her herself?
Make no mistake, I'm a sociopath. God, that sounded evil. Let's rewind a little. I grew up all over coastal America. House after restraining order, everything just kind of blends in. If the divorce rate is 50-50, my mom landed on tails like 8 times. So by the time I was 14, right, I moved from 7 different houses and attended 6 different school districts. After a while, you don't see a point in making friends. The vitamin C graduation song? Yeah, I can't relate. But then one year, all of that almost changed. For the first time ever, I found myself in a school for 2 consecutive years, going on 3. And then I started turning pretty a month into high school, so the guys hitting on you social leverage was really awesome. The popular girls would talk to me all the time. And they were just stupid. Like they'd always been pretty. Never left out. Never alone. And when I think about it, all the thinking I've ever done was when I was alone. I was nice about it and thought I'd always be nice about it. Finally in one place to build a steady reputation. And then life said, fuck that. My piece of shit gamer brother got us evicted for pirating breakbeat mixtapes. It's like not even good music. Anyway, so mom was crying, packing up the moving boxes. And that's when she told me, we're moving out of state. And I just got settled. I said, fuck you, I'm living with dad. He's just a neighborhood down. I put the boxes down, go over, knock on the door, and boom! A gunshot! My second Christmas killed himself! I walked in. Floor looked like a whole-ass video game, just blood everywhere. And get this, his suicide note was stuck to the fridge with a Cookie Monster magnet. All he wrote on it, Nicole's fault. I'm Nicole, by the way, hi. What the fuck did I do to him? Maybe I missed the office softball game? Men are so into this revenge suicide thing. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I'm moving. Again. City, county, state, all the same fate. But I've always said that while leaving. This time, it's on arrival.
Yeah, so remember when I mentioned that this game is actually a rejection simulator? Yeah, this is what I meant. Instead of playing as, you know, the typical anime high schooler who's here to pick up girls or guys, you know, get into random wacky hijinks at high school. No, in this game, you play as an emotionally manipulative, sociopathic, drug addict, abusive teenager whose personal vendetta against the world is just to spread her misery and trauma across everybody she meets. Doing this all before she either gets kicked out, killed, drops out, expelled before graduation. Just so happens to also be attending the literal worst high school known to man. Like, high school is an experience, right? And it's different for everyone. I sure to hell hope your high school didn't have anything in this high school, bruh. Let's see, we got drug dealers.
They only kind of get you fucked up, but it's good.
White supremacist.
Sorry. Allow me to rephrase the question. Do you love the white American culture? Are you a proud white woman?
Yeah, totally love it. A lot, actually. Can we go now?
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I trust your heritage is important to you as well.
If I knew what it was, then absolutely.
White?
So,
I guess it fits. Mr. White's a white supremacist.
White nationalist.
Isn't it the same thing?
White supremacists assume white culture is the correct culture. White nationalists politicize that.
So, he's...
Mr.
Oh, my bad. Nationalist, racist, and homophobic jock, a gym teacher, and a student counselor who are both two varying different degrees of PDF file.
You can't be in here.
Saw you were lagging behind. I thought you might need a spare shirt.
Oh, thanks. Stop looking. Now, please.
You know something? You're feisty. I like that in my female students.
I got a feeling you like something else in your female students, too.
And also, if you could stop writing death to pedophiles on all the whiteboards, that would be great. Promoting violence is so vulgar.
But don't pedophiles deserve to die?
Nicole, no one deserves to die.
Wow, that's really peaceful of you.
I used to be as brash as you at a young age, but then I found a release so satisfying it drained every drop of anger I had.
Was it pedophilia?
Oh, how dare you!
You didn't say no.
General case of people just not giving a shit. Yeah, so I guess don't feel too bad about being a manipulative, evil piece of shit, because literally everyone in this game is just a horrible, horrible, horrible person. And how do you get away with all this, you may be asking? Because you're literally the hottest girl in school, and everyone just will literally do whatever you say without any question whatsoever. Much to the point that people will literally jump off of buildings for you. Yeah, there are no good guys in this game. Like, nobody here is good. Even the more, like, normal people in this game are all fucked. This game does have a lot of different things from other visual novels that really set it apart. Well, besides just, you know, everything I literally just said. This game isn't really that much of a visual novel and more of an interactive movie, considering the game is played automatically for you. There is text that you can read, but everything is fully voice acted, which really helps set this game apart and also makes these terrible situations way funnier. And it really just makes it funnier thanks to the voice cast too.
Going on in here? Nicole, why are you screaming? He literally just invited me over to fuck. Excuse me, is this true?
Well, I didn't use the F word.
Doing your makeup's a huge step down.
What's up, you whores?
Sex with you.
Wow, what are you talking about? Fucking you was like the last thing on my mind. Unless you'd want to.
You've worn the same Volcom socks for like 2 weeks.
But whatever, now my mom's addicted to heroin again. How was your spring break?
I'm sorry I'm a disappointment, Mom. I'd want a daughter who gets A's on math tests instead of D's to the face.
The voice cast in this game is so good, and they're able to make all these horrible situations way better, like as opposed to if this game was just like a normal visual novel where like there's no voice acting at all or very little of it. Also, despite this being an indie game, this game has crazy voice talent, like actual professional voice actors voice acting in this game. Many of them voicing several of like your favorite anime characters and stuff. It's actually kind of like wild. If you just look up on IMDb who's actually in this game, it's kind of insane, really. Also, what I mean by automatically played for you, there's still decisions, obviously. There's multiple routes with 15 endings, and each route having its own different ending. And you don't have to worry about really skipping out on any of them because you can literally make multiple save points at any time during gameplay, which is really good because, you know, a lot of these games, like, especially like decision-based ones, you have to go back a lot, and like, especially with this game, that's like a thing that you're gonna want to do because all the endings are like unhinged, and that's probably the whole point why you're even playing the game in the first place, right? Before we talk about that though, we're gonna talk about every character, or at least most of like the major characters you come across in this game. First character we're gonna talk about is literally the first character you will meet in this game, and his name is Crispin, which first of all, I don't know if that's a real name, but what the fuck, I've never heard of that name in my entire life. But yeah, he's basically your stereotypical like chill chill dude, and by chill dude, I mean he thinks that that's literally a personality trait. He's such a fucking dumb airhead, and he only talks to girls just to try to sleep with them. But like I don't know how to describe his character without just showing him. Like he's literally, and he just talks about nothing and tries to, how he says it, chat it up, which is ultimately him trying to pretend to be like way deep and like in the know about everything, but it literally doesn't work. Either people just humor him and make fun of him, and he just won't leave. Like he doesn't get social cues. If you just tell him to fuck off, he won't like he won't fuck off. He'll just stay here and just contribute absolutely nothing. And low-key, I think he's one of my favorite characters just for the simple fact that like he's really funny without trying to be, because he's just like so dumb. So he's one of the few like not outwardly malicious characters. Like I mean obviously, you know, his goal is not really, I guess, the best, but like he doesn't do anything really that wrong besides like send a picture of his like a micro dick to the goal. But that's like you gotta take what you can get. You gotta understand with this game, like that's he gets what he deserves from that, because that's literally one of the routes where you just send that pic to everyone you know and it gets bullied. Next character we have is Jekka. She's the best friend character of the game. She's best friends with Nicole, mainly because they're both a bunch of fucking bitches that just like are equally as fucked up as each other. She's usually Nicole's partner in crime, either going along with like all of her crazy schemes and shit, or like literally just being like indifferent to it as like a whole. While she is more of like an outwardly nicer looking, more like approachable person in general, wearing like nicer clothes and stuff, only really because like her mom works for like department store and that's how she gets all these nice clothes and stuff. She is just, as I said before, as messed up as Nicole, although she has more of a conscience than Nicole. Like she actually like feels bad and like kind of tells her that she's going too far sometimes. Although funnily enough, she's also very easily manipulated herself. Like literally right before the white nationalist route, she's like, oh yeah, we gotta stop this teacher, right? He's very racist. But literally after the teacher just compliments her and like literally tries to like force his viewpoint on her, she just changes immediately.
Extremist, how is he not out there?
See, we said that, but like, he asked me why it's okay to do Black Pride and Mexican Pride, but not White Pride, and I really didn't have an answer for him.
So you just kind of backed off then?
Well, not exactly. I kept asking more and more about it, and we actually agreed on a lot. He wants me to do a shoot with him this weekend for the White Pride Party's blog.
And what'd you tell him?
I said absolutely. Nothing wrong with being proud of your heritage. Why not? Plus $50 for the day.
Did he mention an ethno-state for white people?
He might have briefly gone into it. Mr. White kept telling me how pretty my skin was. I wasn't paying attention. What's an ethno-state anyway?
Going from super anti-racist to literally like Satan in the next like few minutes. Also, she's a fan of the band Mindless Self-Indulgence, which major red flag. But yeah, she's also pretty much a fan favorite character, like being like the foil to Nicole in a lot of ways, and like actually like, you know, being the nicer of the two of them probably helps a lot. And also it's a really funny pair the two actually make. They really bounce off each other well. Also, she's the protagonist of the third game. Enough said. Next we've got Kyler, who's your stereotypical asshole jock, except not really. This dude is a fucking problem, and he's like literally a danger to everyone around him. This dude is basically every ist and ism in the book. He's racist, sexist, misogynistic. Like he just says the most like wild shit ever, and he just doesn't give a fuck at all about anyone else. Like, he literally, this dude has no filter at all. He just says whatever he wants to say and does whatever he wants to do. I think the worst part about all of this, honestly, is that like you don't like him as a character. You're supposed to fucking hate him, and like nobody actually likes him as a character, but he has some of the funniest lines, like when he randomly just says shit, or like he makes you laugh in like a really uncomfortable sort of way, like a did he just say that sort of way, and he has some of the funniest lines because of it. Also, his voice is so like fucking funny, and he's really stupid, and not like a Crispin type of stupid. No, like he is like actually like dumb. He literally is the guy that got manipulated by Nicole into jumping off of a building because he really wanted to sleep with her. Final actual student character I'm going to be talking about is Jeffrey. Jeffrey is your stereotypical white, skinny, like, anime fucking loser. He is basically the worst of every anime kid you've ever met in your life as one person. Like, he's a just fucking overall weirdo, and he's like a really perverted, and is like down bad for any female interaction whatsoever. This guy literally just talks like a cartoon character, and like, he's just like, ew. He's usually like the butt of the joke, and everyone collectively gathers just to shit on him and bully him. It's like, sometimes you try to like feel bad for him, but at the same time, he mostly does it to himself. Like, he could just act normal, but he really doesn't. He just likes to share his weird little hobbies and like tries to be overly friendly with everyone, even though they clearly don't want to talk to him. Just to show an example of how starved this man is for any female interaction, one of the routes involves Nicole pretending to be just as perverted as him to sit down with him at lunch, which gets him to expose all of his weird fucking fetishes.
So you like him how much taller than you exactly?
At least like 12 feet taller, preferably 50. I want to be picked up with only 2 of her fingers.
And what do you call that again?
It's a giantess fetish. A woman so tall she can't even see those minute details about me, like how I can't tie my shoes.
Yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to see that either. This is cool, what else?
Really? Well, I like it when cute girls walk all over me.
Huh. You know, most people hate when they're taken advantage of.
No, I mean, literally walk all over me. Love to be stepped on by a cute pair of feet.
Well, hey.
Leading to Nicole doing the only
Hey there,
rational thing.
Jeffrey.
Literally
Things
tell
better
everyone.
with your dad yet?
Oh, hello, Jekka. Unfortunately, no. He used my toothbrush to clean out his new assault rifle he bought from China.
Wow, messed up much? Anyway, could you buy me another Diet Coke?
Sorry, but I can't anymore. My mom's been wondering where all my lunch money's been going.
Aw, you're mean. You don't like me anymore.
Again, I'm sorry, I just don't know.
Maybe I should grow 40 feet. Then you'd really like me.
Hey! How'd you...
Maybe if you took your shoes off and stepped on his face!
I can't believe this! She told everyone?
It's okay, Jeffrey. Run away with me. I'll stuff you in my back pocket.
Ugh, just shut up!
He's feisty today, meow.
Oh my god, I almost forgot about that. You have any catnip for us? Yeah, pet us. Make us purr.
I can't believe this!
Which then leads to, we'll get back to that one later. As also mentioned before, not even the adults in this game are trustworthy or reliable or should even be in a school, period. First, we got Mr. White, who, if you couldn't tell by his name, is the catalyst for most of the white nationalist routes in this game. He's also the photography teacher of the school. He also tricks all the white pretty girls in the school to be part of his weird propaganda for the racial purification of America and all this other crazy fucking bullshit. Then we have the guidance counselor, who is one of the pre-mentioned PDF files and is a PDF defender who openly encourages the girls of the school to talk about sex in a really explicit manner. Then we got the coach, who is also another PDF, and he's really violent and has dated most of the girls in this school. Those are pretty much the most standout characters in the game, but obviously I didn't go into every single character because there's a lot of characters that like appear in this game, but they don't have any actual like that much relevance to them until the next game. So I'm probably gonna just save it for that. All right, so before we wrap this up, I'm just gonna talk about the endings. I'm not gonna go in too much detail because I do genuinely think if you're interested in any of this shit, sounds like interesting to you, or if you want to play these games, you should get it. They're fairly like cheap on Steam. So having a guy tell you his opinion or just like watching a YouTuber play it, like you won't get as much out of it. At least that's how I am with these sort of games. Like I kind of have to play it myself to really get like the full experience of that. But yeah, spoiler warning right now. There's an ending where you get expelled statewide, and since your mom refuses to move again, you're stuck working at a Burger King forever. The ending I mentioned briefly before where Jeffrey snaps and kills everyone. There's the ending where you expose the white pride party at your school, and you end up having the Nation of Islam commit full-scale arson on your school. And then there's also the ending where you lie about getting harassed by faculty in court. You end up getting kicked out on the street by your mom. So not to mention the various endings where you just die in some horrible fashion. Those are just some of the endings. Like I said, there's 15 of them in total, and if you want to see the rest, you know, either look it up on YouTube, but I highly suggest you just buy these games on Steam. Like I said, they're really cheap. They even have a bundle with the first and second game just included. If you're brave, play the third game. But yeah, that's gonna be it, I guess, for this video. This is very different than what I usually do on this channel, and what a game to start with something like completely different, completely out of the ordinary for me. But yeah, I recommend this game if you have like a really dark sense of humor and you like types of games like this, or like stuff like South Park. Definitely check this out. It's a pretty good game series. And yeah, that's it.